Hello, beautiful people. This is Kira here. Today is April 24th, and I am coming to you to give you some Earth Ascension updates. Now, if you're new to how I work, I have been sharing for almost a year now that since the time I was 14 years old, I've had the ability to see life and experience life outside of our star system. So what that means pertaining to earth shifts, ascension shifts, spiritual awakening, is I'm able to interpret how the cosmic energy is integrating into the earth and how that is affecting our spiritual, mental, emotional, and at times physical integrations with this high cosmic energy that is allowing essentially our souls to develop while we are here on Earth. So I wanted to share with you just what's up ahead for the next couple of days, the rest of the week. It's been about a month since I have given you guys an update via YouTube, so here we go. So the energy that I've been tapping into for the last couple weeks, it's been rocky. It's been a little bit rough. We have been basically purging at the collective level. Let's say the human race as a whole, as a collective, the soul, the spirit, the essence of our collective inner being has been purging and shedding layers that have not been surfacing. So we're seeing, and we have been seeing, much of shadow spaces, if you will, or surface, or those hidden doors unlatch, and whatever has been unseen begin to bubble up. Also the cosmic energy, the magnetic waves, the plasmic waves up in our earth plane has been intense. So what I mean by that is we go through earth ascension shifts. So you might have read about ascension process. Just real quick, what do they call it? Whoever they are. Symptoms symptoms of how we integrate these higher dimensional frequencies. So essentially just higher vibrations that allow, because we're multidimensional beings, we have the ability to shift and operate in between planes, which are of a higher vibration, which that means that we have the opportunity to break down, dismember, and integrate those higher planes by breaking down, dismembering what doesn't serve us, right? So, the ultimate cycle, if you will, of death and rebirth. We are experiencing a huge quantum leap at the collective level of purging, again, this thick skin over like the last couple of weeks of April. So this is where it gets really good. So this week is just a check-in to root back, get back into more flow, more prayer, more ritual, more devotion into your spiritual practice, whatever grounds you. There's a call to go back to the heart. There's a call to go within and clear the mind. Do whatever you need to do in order to solidify the connection between your heart space, your mind, and your root space. So these 3 chakra points are really fired up right now. And what I mean by that is your root space. So there's a shift, okay, with every high vibration that's going to break down again and polarize or weaken, create instability in any cracks or weak points in your vibrational field. So the root place, security, money, prosperity, home life from maybe when you were a kid. These are some of the stories that have been purging, but simultaneously, and this is the great part, the ultimate support, the support from the mother, the support from the universe is coming in to restabilize the higher dimensional frequencies. So for a lot of us, this is the upper tones of the 4th dimension, and definitely the fifth dimension. So those of you who are doing inner work and allowing, you know, some of this stuff is messy. It's not a walk in the park all the time. Breaking this shit down, it gets intense, okay? And so the root chakra for the next couple weeks into the early part of May is recalibrating. Same thing with the heart space. The heart space, if you follow my videos back from the beginning of the year, when talking about the heart space. Now, because we are energetic beings, the only way to become the container to hold that high vibrational state from the fifth dimension and higher is to open the heart. Okay, and sometimes, you know, our minds can make up every single reason why we shouldn't open up and trust and value ourselves and or put ourselves first. So the heart space is really opening up over time, and we are really in a space where it's less about force, it's more about allowing. Basically, from here on out, with how the consciousness is changing, has been changing, as well as what is coming into the planet here, that feminine flow of receptivity is key. So it's more, again, it's less about force, it's less about dominance, it's less about control, it's more about asking and being receiving, and your only job right now is just to receive. And I know that sounds so counterintuitive. We have all learned, you want something, you go get it. You want something, you do anything that you can to strive to move forward, and you get what you want by force, by control, by being competitive. However, in the higher dimensions and what's coming into our planet, that's not an energetic match. So the heart is learning how and simultaneously, emotionally, we're learning, spiritually, we are remembering how to open up these spaces. And again, our whatever we've been keeping inside of us, locked inside of our nervous system, inside of our mind, we can get tripped up, and we might not want to open up. So the heart, again, open that heart up, do whatever you need to do to process that old stagnant energy, cleanse and purify, and receive. Now, in the mental plane, for the rest of April, early May, again, I already talked about your spiritual practice and cleansing and purifying the mind. There's a call right now to get back into a space or deepen your existing practice. So sometimes that's a change in your schedule. There's a shift in how you are choosing to devote your time or your essence. So if you're kind of like on what am I doing here? If you're on I want to say like an automated system, but if it's like it's dull and it's just like a cycle you go through, change it up. Okay, that's really where it's at. Change and dive back in. Find a new way to connect or deepen your mind into that heavenly God space, divine space mind. So some tips would be mantra, of course, meditation, and using, of course, crystals are always a great addition to how you can amplify your energy field, cleanse and purify. So just some quick energy. We have had a tremendous amount of activity from the central sun, a tremendous amount of activity from the energy layers. So it's kind of like a membrane that wraps around our star system. Now this membrane, and again, this ascension shift, or whatever we want to call it, that we are experiencing is not just for Earth. It's our entire solar system, which is fascinating. I don't know who else is talking about this. It's just information that I have had. And again, I don't channel like beings or anything like that. This is just a connection that I'm sharing with you. So this membrane, or this veil, if you will, has been weakening. So if you listen to other people who talk about this type of stuff, it is like really within the next like 16 months is when it's going to completely dissolve. So what that looks like for us is there could be some shifts in how the sky shifts at night, meaning we might see more activity from life, other life intelligence. So those of you who already have some sort of connection, or you've seen UFOs or Star Brothers, Star Sisters, there's probably going to be increased activity. Where we might see more of like the Northern Lights shift across the planet in upcoming years. But especially with this membrane that's weakening, especially around the sun, the magnetism is increasing. And so what that means for us is we are making these cellular quantum jumps into these higher dimensional fields. So your dream state is always going to be a place where we are processing. Our body is going to be going through shifts. Again, I am not a scientist. I don't claim to be. I just share the information as I see it. And as I'm seeing this, it's like, okay, so like here's the sun, little sun, and then there's this ring around the sun that is some sort of force or bandwidth that is causing the membrane around our solar system to change. And I'm seeing that it actually extends past Pluto. It actually expands past, and it's kind of like these shock waves that are going through our star system that is allowing all of us to, that shedding, that deep shedding of the underworld. Okay, now this is some pretty out there stuff, but essentially, we are interdimensional beings. We are going through a process of evolution, of conscious evolution, and we get to experience at the soul level true metamorphosis. So this layer that I'm seeing around our star system is weakening. It's fascinating. And again, I'm not an astrologer, but I do have the ability to tune into planets that are active, and the ones that I'm seeing active. And so when I receive this information, you can go up, I don't know, check Google or something, to where you can look at the aspects and how some of these aspects of the planets could be affecting your life. So I'm seeing Mercury, Uranus, Saturn, and Neptune, Venus, and Pluto that are really active, that are also involved in the earth plane and charging our awareness for more enlightenment, to keep on going, to keep on propelling us forward. All right. I hope that helps you. My name is Kira. I'm going to drop a link if you would like to stay connected for more Earth updates. Please sign up to my newsletter. If you are also looking for one-on-one support for psychic spiritual coaching, mentorship, energy work, or deepening your existing spiritual practice, I am available right now for one-on-one mentorship. I only have one space available. We begin the next round of this in May. Thank you again for tuning in, and I will be sending you more Earth Ascension updates regularly on this channel. Make sure you please hit subscribe. Bye.